Hello class 7 students, welcome back to the geography class. Today we are going to start chapter 3rd of our geography, which is Changing Earth. Learning objectives: Earth's movement, volcanoes, folding, types of volcanoes, earthquakes, hotspots. Let's warm up. Look at the picture given to right and read the following statements. Write T for true statements and F for false statements. Number 1. In the picture, a building is seen collapsing. Second, the destruction is caused because of an earthquake. Third, a flood is coming. Fourth, people are running here and there. Fifth, it is destruction of property. Application skills. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge Belt includes the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and the adjoining islands. It records moderate earthquakes which are caused due to the moving of the lithospheric plates in opposite directions. The earthquake belt in India is mainly confined to the Himalayan region and the Ganga-Brahmaputra Valley. About 2/3 of India is earthquake prone. In the last 50 years, earthquake tremors have been experienced even in the Deccan Plateau, which was considered relatively safe and free from earthquakes. Answer the following questions. A. What does the Mid-Atlantic Ridge Belt include? B. Where is the earthquake belt in India? C. How much of India is earthquake prone? Try to answer these questions by yourself. Nothing remains same forever. Different forces go on changing the surface of the earth. These changes takes place every minute. Some forces like earthquake and volcanoes occur beneath the crust of the earth. Some other forces include weathering, erosion, etc. are responsible for bringing about changes on the earth's surface. Eruption helps in releasing pressure and heat. The forces that cause the changes are many. They come from deep within the earth as the internal forces which form mountains, plateaus, plains, rising and sinking of coastal plains, movement of continental blocks, etc. The internal forces, endogenic forces are Earth's movement, earthquakes, volcanoes. These are sudden and slow forces. They bring visible changes on the Earth's surface. The other forces are external, exogenic forces such as changes in atmospheric conditions, rivers, glaciers, sea waves, and winds. These forces originate on Earth and form new landforms on the Earth's surface. Earth's movements. The Earth's movements which bring about vast changes originate from within the Earth are called tectonic movements. These movements cause differences in elevation on the surface of the Earth. These movements are of two types: vertical movement, horizontal movement. Vertical movements. During a vertical movement, a portion of the Earth's surface rises, creating a broad, flat arch and also a wide, shallow basin. Plateaus are formed in this manner. These are actually portions of the Earth that have risen above the surrounding portion due to uplift. Valleys are formed by the sinking of the Earth's block. Horizontal movements. Horizontal movements usually take place where the crust is weakest. If the force of compression is weak, it may result in the formation of simple arches and troughs. In case the compression force is strong, the arches form folds. The rising or sinking of the Earth's surface is caused by such lateral compressions. Folding. Folding of the Earth's horizontal strata leads to the formation of mountains. The phenomenon of folding can be easily understood by the example of a thick carpet laid on a smooth floor. If such a carpet is pushed at the opposite edges, parallel folds will be formed. The Himalayas are an example of a folded belt. The same is true for the Karakoram and Hindu Kush ranges. The Rockies North America, the Andes South America and the Alps Europe are all fold mountains. In this image, you can see how two tectonic plates can make fold mountains. Formation of fold mountains. Fold mountains have a series of ranges that run parallel to the main range. There are high peaks and low valleys within the mountain region. Since the mountain ranges are steep and uneven, the rivers flowing through them are swift flowing and form rapids and waterfalls on their downward journey. Faulting. Faulting is caused due to tension when horizontal forces act in the opposite directions away from a given point or plane. The intense tensional forces can develop cracks or fractures in the Earth's crust. This may be followed by faulting, that is, the displacement of rock strata on either sides of the crack. The displacement of the strata can be vertical or horizontal, or a combination of both. Faults are common in all parts of the earth, but in large number in the fold mountains, faulting may form a variety of relief features like host, block mountains, rift valley, etc. If a block is raised between two parallel faults, the elevated part is called host or block mountain. The Vosges Mountains and Black Forest Plateau in Europe are the block mountains. A rift valley is formed between two parallel faults. Parts of Narmada and Tapi valleys in India are the rift valleys. The movements of the earth's crust causing uplift, subsidence, folding and faulting are slow and continue for a long time. The crust of the earth also experiences sudden movements through volcanoes and earthquakes. This is the image of faulting. Earthquakes. When lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates. The vibrations can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquakes. In other words, an earthquake, also known as a tremor, is the result of a sudden release of energy in the earth. The place in the crust where movement starts is called the focus. The place on the surface above the focus is called the epicenter. As the vibration travel, fact file. The study of earthquake is called seismology. Outwards from the epicenter in the form of waves, the greatest damage is usually caused to the areas closest to the epicenter. This is called an earthquake. An earthquake can be measured with the help of a machine called seismometer, seismograph. The magnitude or intensity of an earthquake is measured by the Richter scale. The numbers on this scale range from 0 to 9. Earthquake of magnitude 7 and above are very destructive and cause heavy damage to life and property. What causes an earthquake? We live on the top surface of the earth called the crust. But deep below the earth it is very hot. The crust of the earth has cracks in it called the faults. The land on each side of a fault can move as it floats on molten rocks. The moving land masses sometimes bump against each other, causing the land to shake. This results in an earthquake. Effects of earthquake. Earthquake can displace the crust of earth to uplift and subside. They can result in landslides and avalanches in mountain areas. They can be seen as destruction of towns and cities, falling of buildings, damaging roads and communication links, bursting of pipelines, etc. Fact file. In the last 20 years, some devastating earthquakes have occurred in India in the following places: Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand, 1991, Latur, Maharashtra, 1993, Bhuj, Gujarat, 2001, Pak-occupied Kashmir, POK, Muzaffarabad, 2005. Think smarter. What measures can be taken in an earthquake-prone area? Case study. Earthquake in Bhuj. On 26 January 2001 at 8:46 am, an earthquake measuring 6.9 on Richter scale rocked the seismically active area of Kutch district of Gujarat state. About 600 km northwest of Mumbai, the town of Bhuj is centrally located in the Kutch district. So this earthquake is known as the Bhuj earthquake. It left 17,000 people dead, 1,50,000 injured and 15,70,000 others affected. It damaged 2,58,000 houses in Kutch and damaged about 8,39,000 houses in the entire Gujarat state. Volcanoes. Natural openings in the earth's crust through which the molten materials, rocks, ashes, gases, etc. are ejected are called volcanoes. This is the picture of a volcano. They erupt due to the excessive heat and pressure inside the earth. The opening through which molten rock or lava comes out is called vent of volcano. The funnel-shaped depression at the top of the vent is called crater. Most of the active volcanoes of the world are located in the circular belt around the Pacific Ocean known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. Some volcanoes are also found in the Mediterranean Sea and the Caspian Sea known as the Mid-World Mountain Belt. Volcanoes and landforms. Deposition and cooling of lava around the opening led to the formation of volcanic cones or hills. Sometimes, lava can come out through a crack or fault and called fissure eruption. Lava ejected by volcanoes can be thick or thin in nature. If the lava is thick and larger in quantity, then a high and steep-sided volcanoes with small bases are formed. If the lava is thin, then volcanic cone is shorter in height with a broader base. Such volcanoes are common in Hawaii Islands. No doubt the volcanic eruptions of explosive nature are harmful to a nearby human settlements, plant and animal life. Types of volcanoes. Active volcanoes. A volcano in which continuous volcanic activity occurs and eruption can take place at any time, it is called an active volcano. For example, Mauna Loa and Kilauea in Hawaii and Mount Etna in Italy. The active volcano in India is found on Barren Island in the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. This is the picture of Mount Etna volcano in Italy. Dormant volcanoes. Volcanoes that have not erupted for a long time but have chances of eruption are called dormant volcanoes. Example of such volcanoes include Mount Vesuvius of Italy. This is the picture of Mount Vesuvius. Extinct volcanoes. Volcanoes that have not erupted for at least 2 million years and are not likely to erupt at all are called extinct volcanoes. This is the picture of Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is an example of this kind of volcano. Hotspots. Hotspots are usually located where the heat of the Earth's mantle creates a column of hot molten material that rises until it reaches the crust. The temperature melts the rocks in the crust, forming pipes through which magma can be released to the surface. The Hawaii Islands have many such volcanoes. This is the example of hotspot volcano. Value and life skills. Natural disasters bring destruction to both human life and property. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and cyclone-prone areas should take certain measures to avoid as much loss as possible of human life and property. We, as a human being, should always provide our services for mankind. Whenever a natural disaster hit an area, we should provide help in any possible form. Can you think of helpful gestures for people affected by different natural disasters? Recapitulation. Different forces go on changing the surface of the earth. These forces may be internal, endogenic, or external, exogenic. The movements of the tectonic plates can cause earthquakes. The intensity of an earthquake is measured by the Richter scale. A volcano is an opening in the earth's surface through which hot material is thrown out. Dormant volcanoes have not erupted for a long time but can possibly erupt. Most of the volcanoes lie in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Thank you, class. Let's meet again in the next chapter.